The Justice League Dark isn't your usual superhero team. When magic runs wild and supernatural threats rise, they're the ones who step in. The group was first brought together by Madame Xanadu, who saw a terrifying future they can only stop. So it all started when Enchantress went on a rampage after separating from her human host, June Moon. Well, things got out of hand fast. Deadman tried to protect June, but a spell gone wrong led to her capture. Ultimately, John Constantine sealed Enchantress into June, saving the day but sacrificing her. When Xanadu tried to make them an official team, they all refused, at first. But when nightmares warned them of an even bigger disaster, they realized that they had no choice. One of their biggest fights was against Kane, the first vampire, whose power threatened to wipe out everything. The team battled in Gotham City, but Kane was way too strong, stealing magic and making his army unstoppable. Even with Mary, Queen of Blood, on their side, they didn't stand a chance, until Andrew Bennett, a vampire struggling with his fate, returned with godlike power and took Kane down. After proving themselves, the team got an official mission from Argus, earning the codename Justice League Dark. Constantine, Zatanna, and Deadman teamed up with Black Orchid to take down Felix Faust, who was after the legendary Books of Magic. But Faust tricked them into opening a mighty map, unleashing demonic forces. Dr. Mist betrayed them amidst all the chaos, blasting Constantine in the head. Their stories mix magic, mystery, and some of DC's darkest legends, making Justice League Dark unlike any other superhero team out there. This league definitely brings some chaos, but another team is the foundation of superhero history, so stick around because we're going to get to the Freedom Fighters here in a bit. When the Justice League can't step in, Amanda Waller, good old Amanda Waller, has always got a backup plan. A squad of criminals forced to do the government's dirty work. They call it Task Force X, but most know them as the Suicide Squad. The idea here is super simple, but brutal. Dangerous missions in exchange for reduced prison time. The catch? Step out of line and the bomb in your neck goes off. No second chances. As you can imagine, the lineup constantly changes, but some names stand out. You've got Deadshot, the sharpshooter who never misses. Harley Quinn, unpredictable and deadly. Captain Boomerang, cunning with a mean streak, and powerhouses like Killer Croc and Enchantress. Rick Flag, one of the few non-criminals on the team, is stuck leading this chaotic group and keeping them in check. The squad wasn't always this dark. Back in the Silver Age, they started as heroes. But in modern times, Waller turned them into something grittier. Criminals sent on deadly missions no hero would ever deign to take. John Ostrander helped shape their brutal no-rules reputation, making them into one of DC's most unpredictable teams. And what about the missions? Those are just as wild as the team itself. They once took down Brimstone, a fire monster made by Darkseid, but it cost Blockbuster his life. Another time, they infiltrated a fortress to stop a terrorist group called the Jihad. Now they fought Russian super teams, tangled with politics, and even clashed with the Justice League. Through New 52, Rebirth, and beyond, the Suicide Squad has faced magic, betrayal, and impossible odds. But you know what? One thing never changes. Every mission is a gamble. Survive and you walk free. Fail? You don't walk at all. The Birds of Prey are a fierce, all-women team of vigilantes who use their brains, brawn, and plenty of attitude to take down bad guys. Honestly, it's like Charlie's Angels on steroids. Now, over the years, their ranks have included Black Canary, Huntress, Batgirl, and even Harley Quinn, fearsome fighters who don't back down from a challenge. Okay, so it all started as a partnership between Black Canary and Oracle, but pretty soon more heroes joined, forming a powerful trio with Huntress. Their base? Gotham's Clock Tower has cutting-edge tech and Oracle's legendary computer system. Each member brings something unique: combat skills, sharp strategy, and enough firepower to make any villain think twice. While they don't always see eye to eye, justice comes fast and hard when they team up. Not only that, but the Birds of Prey have tackled some pretty wild missions throughout different versions. In one version, Amanda Waller roped Black Canary and Starling into working together, pulling in Poison Ivy, Batgirl, and Katana to stop a villain named Choke who turned people into living bombs. Then came the battle with the Court of Owls, where Ivy was hurt, leading to betrayal and a deadly showdown. Things got even messier when Starling turned on the team, siding with Mr. Freeze. Meanwhile, Black Canary uncovered a secret. Her ex-husband, Kurt Lance, was alive, and Amanda Waller had been hiding it. Furious, she quit only to clash with Ra's al Ghul, who tricked her with a false promise. Beaten but not broken, she rejoined the team just in time for Waller to drop another bombshell that tore them all apart. Now, one thing's pretty clear through all the betrayals, battles, and breakups. When the birds of prey take flight, no villain is safe, and that drama is worth the price of admission. The Outsiders are a team of heroes who don't care about looking suitable for the cameras. When politics hold back the Justice League, the Outsiders step in, handling the jobs that nobody else can. Batman put the team together after quitting the League, frustrated when they refused to help rescue his friend Lucius Fox during a revolution in Markovia. Now, it's really important to note here that we're talking about the original Outsiders comic run, and not their reiteration and recreation in Young Justice, for those of you who might think that sounds a little odd. Anyway, Batman wasn't alone for long. He met an energy-wielding amnesiac he named Halo, crossed paths with the deadly swordswoman Katana, and found Black Lightning locked up after an undercover mission. Meanwhile, Prince Brion Markov, now calling himself Geoforce, gained superpowers to protect his country. Alongside the shape-shifting Metamorpho, they fought the villain Baron Bedlam, and after their victory, decided to stick together as the Outsiders. As the team grew, it changed and even split in two. Eradicator led a squad in LA, while Katana commanded the other one in New York. And look, their battles took them everywhere, from fighting aliens pushing deadly weapons to stopping Felix Faust from destroying his son. Along the way, friendships were tested, betrayals hit hard, and chaos followed them everywhere they went. The Outsiders weren't just fighting villains, they were fighting each other. Eradicator's group went rogue, leading to a showdown with their former teammates. Superman even got caught up in the mess. And just when things started to settle down, Halo was kidnapped, Katana was stabbed, and the team was pulled into a hellish dimension by Felix Faust. Sounds like the start of 2025, am I right? You know what? Through it all, they survived. They stopped nuclear threats, they fought on Apocalypse, and they even battled Eclipso in space. And somehow, despite all of the danger, Geoforce still made it home in time for his wedding. Okay, the Freedom Fighters are a team of American superheroes led by Uncle Sam. They first fought against tyranny on Earth X, a world where the Nazis won World War II and ruled with an iron fist. They were the last hope for freedom, battling oppression when nobody else could. The original team included Black Condor, Dollman, Human Bomb, Phantom Lady, and The Ray, and they were later joined by Firebrand. After Crisis on Infinite Earths merged the multiverse, the Freedom Fighters became part of the main DC universe. They had ties to the All-Star Squadron and continued their fight against evil into modern times. Initially, all of their members were characters acquired from Quality Comics, but the team has expanded over the years. In the early days, Uncle Sam discovered Earth X, where the Allies were losing the war. He recruited Hourman, Invisible Hood, Magno, Miss America, Neon the Unknown, and Red Torpedo to help. They fought bravely, but they were nearly wiped out. Only Uncle Sam survived, returning to Earth 2 to form a second team. With Black Condor, Dollman, Human Bomb, Phantom Lady, The Ray, and Red Bee, they freed Hourman and defeated Baron Blitzkrieg, though Red Bee was killed. Later on, heroes like the Blackhawks, Plastic Man, and Quicksilver joined them, keeping the fight alive. Over time, the Freedom Fighters faded into obscurity, but returned when a corrupt agency, Shade, built a new team. Uncle Sam rallied them against their manipulative leader, and new heroes like Firebrand, a new Black Condor, and Miss America joined the cause. After a number of betrayals and battles, the team split, reformed, and then disbanded, proving that even heroes struggle to stay united. These fighters may have ended up going their separate ways, but here in a bit, we're going to be talking about a team that didn't. I'm talking about the Legion of Superheroes, so stick around for a bit. The Seven Soldiers of Victory, also called Law's Legionnaires, were a superhero team that fought during World War II as part of the All-Star Squadron. Their original adventures occurred in the Golden Age of Earth 2, when members Green Arrow, Speedy, Shining Knight, Crimson Avenger, Vigilante, Star-Spangled Kid, and Stripsy all formed together. Green Arrow and Speedy were sent back to the 1940s while fighting the Clock King. There, they met the other heroes and formed the Seven Soldiers. But in a later battle, Nebula Man flung them into the future. Green Arrow and Speedy returned to their time, but the rest were left stranded until they were eventually rescued. In addition, Green Arrow grew up on a Native American reservation and became a skilled archer. He and Roy Harper, an orphan raised by a forest ranger, were once kidnapped by art thieves. They escaped using their archery skills and decided to fight crime as Green Arrow and Speedy. Also, Crimson Avenger aka Lee Travis was a wealthy newspaper publisher who lived comfortably until he witnessed a murder at a charity event. Enraged, he put on a mask and took down the criminals with help from his chauffeur, Wing Ho. And then there's Vigilante. He was Greg Sanders, a cowboy singer who turned to crime fighting after his sheriff father was murdered. Wearing his father's guns and bandana, he split his time between New York and the Wild West. On July 4th, 1941, young Sylvester Pemberton and mechanic Pat Dugan stopped Nazi agents trying to start a riot. Inspired, they became the Star-Spangled Kid and Stripesy, constantly bickering over their duo's real leader. The Global Guardians were a team of international heroes formed during the Cold War. They originally came from a group called the Dome, which was founded in 1957 as a global police force for superheroes outside of the US and the USSR. The team included Dr. Mist, the Knight and Squire, the Guacho, the Legionary, the Musketeer, and the Wingman. Over time, new heroes joined and Dr. Mist officially formed the Global Guardians. At first, the Guardians had very little connection to American heroes, but that changed when Green Flame, Ice Maiden, Rising Sun, and Tasmanian Devil crossed paths with Infinity Incorporated while protecting a Canadian trade conference. They clashed at first, but teamed up to stop the villainous Injustice Unlimited. Later on, the United Nations cut funding to the Dome, forcing the Guardians to disband. Green Flame and Ice Maiden joined the Justice League International, while others disappeared, including Dr. Mist and several key members. Some ended up under the control of Queen Bee of Bialya, who used mind control to turn them against the Justice League. Others, like Jack-O-Lantern and Owlwoman, willingly sided with her instead. Beyond this, Queen Bee rebuilt the Dome and Bialya, brainwashing more heroes and even creating an android Dr. Mist. But her rule collapsed when a bomb revealed her secret base, freeing the Guardians. Dr. Mist then reformed the team and built a new headquarters in the Pacific. Over time, the Guardians were mind-controlled again, this time by the Faceless Hunter, and later became targets of Prometheus, who killed several members. Tasmanian Devil was one of the casualties, but was later revived with the Lazarus Pit. You know what? Despite all of their struggles, and there were a lot, the Global Guardians just kept rebuilding, standing firm as a worldwide force for justice. The Metal Men are a team of superpowered robots made from different metals. Their creator, Dr. Will Magnus, gave them artificial intelligence by placing a unique responsometer device into molten metal. This allowed the metal to form a humanoid body with its thoughts, emotions, and personality. The team includes gold, mercury, lead, tin, iron, platinum, and for a time, copper. Originally, Magnus built them for the Department of Defense, hoping that they would be used for search and rescue in dangerous environments. But when a government official revealed the plan to turn them into assassins, the Metal Men refused and escaped the lab. They actually disguised themselves as household objects and hid in Magnus's apartment, but he eventually found them. Instead of forcing them back, he listened. The Metal Men insisted that they weren't weapons and only wanted to help people. Before Magnus could decide what to do, chaos erupted. A thief had accidentally created a monster called Chemo by throwing a responsometer into toxic waste. The creature became a massive threat, and the Metal Men jumped into action. They saved everybody in danger, then made the ultimate sacrifice, fusing inside Chemo to stop its deadly toxins. Their bodies were destroyed, but their responsometer survived. Magnus kept them in storage, knowing that the Metal Men could always return as long as their responsometers existed. They weren't just machines, they were heroes with hearts of metal. Okay, the Legion of Superheroes is a team of young heroes from the 30th and 31st centuries. The legend of Superboy inspired them and was first formed by 3 teenagers, Cosmic Boy, Lightning Lad, and Saturn Girl. After saving a wealthy businessman named R.J. Brandt, the team got the resources needed to become an official organization. Over time, the team grew to include many more members with various powers and abilities, like Matter-Eating Lad, one of my favorites. Above all, the Legion's been through a lot of different versions because the future constantly changes, which means different timelines and naturally different teams. The first version appeared in Adventure Comics number 247 way back in 1958. Later on, there were several reboots, including one in 1994 after Zero Hour, another in 2004, and another after the timeline changes caused by the Doomsday Clock. You know, Legionnaires are always known for their super cool tech. Every member gets a Legion flight ring, which lets them fly. Before these rings, they use flight belts. When they need to go on missions in space, they wear special spacesuits too. Oh, and for time travel, they use a Legion time bubble. To get around, they also ride in the Legion Cruiser. Man, Golden Age comics made everything sound super cool. There's some interesting trivia for you. The first Legion members looked just like their future counterparts. This was retconned later on, but for a time, the Legionnaires called themselves the Children of the Originals. So, from battling villains to saving the universe, the Legion of Superheroes proves that even young heroes can make a big impact across the cosmos. The Terrifics are a group of heroes who banded together to explore the dark multiverse. Mr. Terrific leads the team, including Plastic Man, Metamorpho, and Phantom Girl, with other heroes ready to join. The team formed when Mr. Terrific discovered Simon Stagg's plan to open a portal into the dark multiverse by forcing Metamorpho to change into Nth Metal. Mr. Terrific brought Plastic Man along because he's immune to the dark multiverse. The three tried to stop Stagg but got pulled into the portal. So they found themselves in a dead, lifeless world where they met Phantom Girl, a young girl who had been stuck in an intangible state since childhood and had no way to send a signal. As they explored, they stumbled upon a computer hidden in the belly of a giant robot. The computer played a message from Tom Strong, who told them that they were needed to save the universe. When they returned home, Mr. Terrific tried to leave the others behind, thinking that he could go off and explore the multiverse alone. But the dark multiverse's energy had bonded them so that they couldn't separate. No matter how far apart they tried to go, the four heroes were cosmically tied to each other. Mr. Terrific then worked out a deal with Stagg to use his facility to test their bond and keep exploring the mysteries of the dark multiverse. The Speedsters are a group of heroes with the power of speed, Yodoi, and they're all connected by the Speed Force. They come together to fight evil and explore the mysteries of the Speed Force, which helps them run faster and even travel through time. As for its origin, the group formed when Barry Allen returned from the dead and teamed up with Wally West to fight crime. But things got tricky when Barry started taking all the credit and claiming to be the only Flash. With the help of other speedsters like Jay Garrick and Johnny Quick, Wally discovered that the Barry they were working with was an imposter, Professor Zoom. Together, they were able to stop the villain and set things right. As time passed, the speedsters learned more about the Speed Force. Max Mercury revealed he was one of the first speedsters, and Wally West became the one with the most substantial connection to the Speed Force. But not everything was smooth sailing. In battles against villains like Savitar, some speedsters lose their powers or disappear like Max Mercury. In the end, the speedsters continued to join forces to protect the world and explore the true power of the Speed Force, racing against time and evil together. The Teen Titans are the heart of youthful heroism in the DC Universe, a team of sidekicks who stepped out of their mentor shadows to make their mark on the world. It began with Robin, Kid Flash, and Aqualad, who teamed up to take down a villain called Mr. Twister. After defeating him and saving the day, they decided to form a team, the Teen Titans. Their mentors, including Batman, Aquaman, and The Flash, gave their blessing, and a new era of young heroes began. Soon after, Wonder Girl, a fearless warrior from Paradise Island, joined the team, followed by Speedy, the skilled archer mentored by Green Arrow. Together, they embarked on wild adventures, facing everything from giant robots to villains disguised as pop stars. Their early missions were anything but ordinary, with foes like the bizarre Ding Dong Daddy and the flashy Mad Mod keeping them on their toes. Along the way, they set up their first headquarters, the Titan Lair, hidden in an old Wayne Enterprise facility. Overall, the Teen Titans weren't just about fighting crime. They stood for independence, camaraderie, and proving that young heroes could hold their own. Over time, the roster grew, their missions became more daring, and their legacy as the ultimate team of young vigilantes grew ever stronger. From the streets of Gotham to intergalactic threats, the Teen Titans have consistently shown that age is no limit to heroism. And that's a wrap. Hopefully you had a good time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and do let us know if there's any teams you would have liked to see in our list that we forgot to add.